to discern to talk about 72, a night like never again. Paul and Val fell in love that night, searching for a place they can't find. Lost, overwhelmed, and we felt the beat. Hearts racing in the midnight heat, dancing close in the crowded room, chasing freedom in the gleam and gloom. Is it too soon to talk about 72? This tomb that felt so new, searching through the night for a place they'll never find. In the woods they roamed it all, every corner, every tree. In the shadows they would meet, secret lovers lost in the leaves. Passions running wild and free, a house they could not see. Holding tight through thick and thin, this is how their night ends. Is it too soon to talk about 72? This June love felt so new, searching through the night for a place they'll never find. In the woods they roamed it all, every corner, every tree. In the shadows they would meet, secret lovers lost in the leaves. Passions running wild and free, a house they could not see. Holding tight through thick and thin, this is how their night ends. Is it too soon to talk about 72? This doomed love felt so new, searching through the night for a place they'll never find. For a place they'll never find.
The crypt of dark secrets penetrates beyond the darkness, where the dead do return to live again. Twisted nightmares of those who have gone beyond the grave and return possessing innocent young bodies. An unspeakable whirlpool of demonic madness and sexual possession. You pay for the whole seat, but you'll only use the edge. Crypt of dark secrets. Step beyond, if you dare. In Technicolor, rated R.
If you dare. I
Yeah.
forgot there was a second trailer on there.
Yeah.
I was like, look, it's not time to come back yet.
Yeah. How about that? There's some good movies coming up.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah, man. The next show we're going to do is going to be October 19th. That's going to be Crypt of Dark Secrets.
Get ready. Oh man, I can't wait. I love that movie so much. I bought the Severn one at the drive-in last weekend, and I was so excited to own it and have it in my home. And I look at the box like 3 times a week now. I say, oh,
Why didn't I get that?
It's the double feature too, the sleazy New Orleans double feature Blu-ray that they had. So pretty exciting.
The sleazier, the better.
Right, that movie's super sleazy. It has an interview with the actress who plays the witch in it today. She did a new interview talking about it, so I'm pretty excited to see that. So yeah, how did everybody feel about our film? I loved it even more this time than the last time I watched it. Each time my love grows and grows for this movie.
Good.
Yeah,
that's how I feel too. There were a couple things that I picked up on this time watching it, and I mean, it was stuff that I'd seen before, but this is, the more you watch it, you pick up on the subtle nuances. And one of the things that really isn't so obvious in the film that I picked up on in later viewings was the way Andrew is presented as a character in the film, and he's presented as a spiritual entity. Even before anything spooky starts to happen. There's a scene of him, the very first time you see him as a teenager, he's in his bedroom and you just see his shadow.
Yeah.
And he's reading a book and the book slams shut, but he's not sitting there. You can see his shadow, but you don't see him. And then he goes downstairs and you see his shadow on the wall, and his parents see him, but the audience doesn't see him. And there are a couple more moments in the film, like he's on a swing when the woman who's the reincarnation of the angel, she's praying in the cemetery. And really, why was she there? Like, why did she have to go into the spooky cemetery in the middle of the night to do this? But he's not really with her, but he is on a swing hanging from the tree. It's like he's in another dimension.
It's kind of like the swing scene in Baba's Shock, whenever the kid's on the swing and all that stuff happens. It's very
like that too.
Yeah. Which I really dig. And then I love as he grows, even before we see him grow in power, there's the one scene where there's that hell to blow of the high school kids all like breaking into cars, making out, like doing all this stuff in broad daylight. And he's above all of them in that almost cage while I Don't Like Mondays, or no, Anarchy in the UK is playing. And it's like, wow, like that's like a great scene where it's like he's like away from their world. Like he tries to get involved with it. And I love when he finally brings the book down to the girl and he hands it to her. And in her mind, she can see him like in bed with her. And like, obviously he's forcing this into her mind. And like her boyfriend's like, thanks, you could leave now. And meanwhile, she's, just pushing this into her. It's pretty great.
So I have some exciting news. While we were doing the first segment, the director of the film, Frank LaLoggia, commented on our video, and he left a number of points that he wanted me to bring up on the show, which was, this is amazing insight into the making of this film. So Frank, if you're watching, thanks very much.
Yes, thank you.
So the first thing he wrote was Fear's total budget was $840,000. And they shot the film for $5,400. $540,000. I don't know why I can't talk. It must have been something I smoked. And took it all the way to the work print. Avco put up $300,000 to complete it. So that's awesome to know. And we were talking about the music in the movie, and they paid a $10,000 buyout for the needle drops, as he refers to them, with the stipulation that they could not release a soundtrack album with the tracks. So that's why there is no soundtrack album. It's part of the deal. And Frank put the review ad together by himself, which is awesome. He liked the quote, "The cars rockin', don't come knocking." And the final thing he wrote was that Avco platformed the film's release. Its initial openings were in January, but to keep costs down, they needed to rotate a limited number of prints that they had struck. So this was the reason for the varied opening dates across the country. So thanks very much, Frank, for commenting that stuff.
So awesome.
This is amazing.
Yeah. That's what I love about doing the show is we actually sometimes get a chance to interact with people that have made works of art that we love and learn more about them. Like I'm always fascinated about the process of not only how it was made, but how was it released and how did the ads work and, you know, what went along each stage of the process. So that's pretty awesome. So what did everybody in the chat think? Let us know and how you felt about it. Was it your first time? Was it a multi-time watch? Let us know how you felt and what it did. I really was keen, like you said, Bill, that he does look like Joe Bryant a lot before the end there. And I love the way the effects look at the end, especially, it's almost like he has a, like almost a sacred heart coming out of him, out of that star, whenever they blast him with that. And I really love that. Also, Bill and I talked about it again. We've talked about it numerous times. The kissing fight scene is incredible. Cause like, what was the bully trying to do? And like, I just love that. Like he says, oh, his friend says, oh, well, you just slipped on the wet floor. Everything's fine. And he's like, no, I don't know what happened. Like, it's just kind of amazing.
Yeah. He was like kind of tormenting him, but he couldn't break away. You know, he turned it around on the bully, which is pretty cool.
It's interesting too, because bullies, it's always weird to me that bullies would use, and maybe it's my growing up time, hopefully it's different today, you know, would be use homosexual insults at you and stuff. And then, you know, like, well, you seem really obsessed by this as you're throwing these insults my way. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's singling it, at least from my own personal experience. You're singled out because you're different. They sense something in you it's something. And I don't know. For me, it wasn't hard to see. You know, so they knew right away that I was different, and so you know that's what they're reacting to, is that it's somebody that's not like you, and that's the really like the whole story of Fear No Evil, is he's somehow apart from everybody in his world. And we were talking about this while the movie was on. It's crazy to think that there would be entities like angels and demons, and that they would be warring with each other through the bodies of human beings.
Well, and also that they've picked this somewhat small town. It's not like this battles happening in the Holy Land or even in New York City. It's like in a suburb.
It's all happening right there.
Yeah. But which is cool. And man, that castle is a great location for it. I love there's so much fog in this movie. It's just, it has such a good feel. That cemetery is terrifying. The lighting in it's great. There's some really cool stuff that happens in this. And I love, there's one scene where he walks out of the door with the girl and it's all like blue light from the inside coming out, and that fog, it's the best feeling. I couldn't even imagine seeing this at the drive-in. We should, this would be a good suggestion for April.
Hint, hint.
Yeah. Hint.
George Reese.
Yeah. To play, because it would look amazing on a drive-in screen.
Yeah. Dan Sitch linked to the soundtrack album. There was a soundtrack, but it was the film score. It was not the new wave and punk songs that are actually on the soundtrack.
I think the other thing Bill and I were talking about while we were watching it is, whereas a lot of the drive-in era stuff and 80s stuff that we watch that is coming from a lower budget, you'll see sometimes where there aren't that many setups or things are shot within one or two locations. Like there's a lot of setups in this, like there's the one scene where they go from the cars in the parking lot to a different car, and it's like, wow, like that's a totally different setup. It's a totally different location. Like there's a lot of value for the budget that was used for this, and it looks like a much bigger budget movie than it is because of that. So that's one of the things that really strikes me about this movie. No part of it feels like, it doesn't feel cheap. And I think the needle drop music really
Right.
helps that too.
And it was a lower budget movie, so
Yeah.
it's cool to pull that off,
Yeah.
to make it look like it's like it had a bigger budget than it did.
The camera moves are really nice too, where there's a lot of like
Um,
sweeps and moves in on things too.
yeah, it's very artfully made,
Hmm.
even though it's low budget. And those are my favorite kinds of movies.
Yeah.
Sometimes the more money you have, the worse the movie is, or it's just something forgettable.
I always
But
think,
something like this movie,
I always
sticks
think,
with you.
I always think too, like the budget's one thing, but like it doesn't cost money to do a Dutch angle or to like change where the camera's placed or to
Sure.
the movement. Like that's things that, it's about creativity, and this movie definitely has it. So, I love the reveals of the magic, like within that castle, like the pieces of sculpture that kind of open up. That's really interesting, Damon.
Oh, that
And
castle is an amazing set.
yeah,
It's just an amazing set. And what a place to film a movie, like you said in the first segment. Like something like Romero had the Monroeville Mall,
yeah,
and La Loggia had this weird castle that they shot in.
it's kind of
They
like how
made the most of it too.
I love movies that find those locations, like Deathbed's another one, obviously, where they had that mansion in the middle of like, off the lake, and that was falling into disrepair. And that's where he found that and shot there. And like this movie does the same thing with the castle. Like, and I love there's even a little bit of history as that one boat's going by and kind of telling you about how the castle's falling into disrepair and who owned it. And there's a little bit of a nice like travelogue-y kind of bit of that too, where it's like, oh, like this is a real place. Like that feels cool.
Little did they know that Lucifer was standing right there
Yeah,
listening
like
to them say
here's
that.
the real history. A bunch of angels are in town and they're fighting the fallen one. Wow. I like that Lucifer also brings up his unholy trinity with Beelzebub, Lucifer, and I can't remember who the other demon he calls out for it. And he's like, we have our own unholy trinity. It's like, wow. That's a pretty interesting concept. So
Hey, by the way,
Mhm.
did you see my ad for Haunt that popped up
I
during the
did.
broadcast?
I heard that there is a new issue.
You're absolutely right. And here it is.
Oh,
It's the brand new Halloween fanzine, Haunt. Well, the zine isn't new. I've been doing it since 2015. This is our 10th issue, and it's the biggest issue that I've done. Don't get too excited. It's only maybe like, 8 pages bigger than it was before, but it's something that is really popular with certain people who are like just moved by nostalgia like this. It's just all these, the kind of shit I'm into. Like I
yeah.
clip newsprint ads. It's just a collage of all this stuff, and it makes me really excited to look at this stuff because it reminds me of what it was like to be a kid, and Halloween's coming. And I don't
Wow.
know, maybe I was just strange, but
No,
I looked for the
that's
little
awesome.
witches and ghosts in the grocery store ads. So and then
Wow.
there's some art in it too. I made this collage of Halloween masks as they appeared in newspaper
Wow.
ads. And my partner, Mark Hangoid, has some art in here too, some original art.
Oh,
And
wow.
the inside cover panel is all Mark's cartoons,
Oh, I love it.
cartoon characters. So a lot of people have ordered it already. I'll probably do enough to last the rest of October, but it's done at the end of October. In fact, like, why even order it the last week in October, I guess. So get it now. Now's the time. groovydoom.etsy.com.
And you
And
can
if you're in
get
New York,
whole
you can
sets,
buy
right?
it at Forbidden Planet also. Wait, what did you say?
You can get a whole set of Haunt too still, or are you still doing that?
Yes. You can get all 10 issues at a special price. Basically, you buy the 9 previous issues to get the new issue free. And they're
Wow.
cheap. They're
Yeah.
they're only $5 or $6 each. So we're not talking about a lot of money.
I have all the previous issues,
But yeah,
and it's great. Like it's a great way to get excited for Halloween.
You can buy it at Forbidden Planet probably by the end of next week. Is when
Awesome.
it'll arrive.
Awesome. I love when a new issue comes out because it has, like you said, it's become a tradition now to get it and read through it and get excited.
So do I.
Yeah.
I get excited about it too because it's just nothing. Drive an Asylum Haunt. Every time I put a new issue together, there's always a special moment when it comes to life, and I go pick it up at the printer and I can see what it looks like in print.
I'm just glad I got my new article done for the new issue and I wasn't running late. So that makes me feel good.
The whole issue is late.
Yeah.
It should have been out like 3 months ago, but
Yeah,
you know,
that's okay.
I have to find places to do all of these things, and unfortunately, doing the weekly show takes up a lot of my time. So, but I'm not going to stop doing Drive-In Asylum. There will always be a new issue.
I can't wait till the next
Till
one.
I'm dead.
I actually have the last issue on my nightstand, and before I go to bed, I read a page or two. I'm totally serious. This isn't not just because I do stuff with you, but I love just thumbing through it, and it's a nice way to get ready for bed. Hopefully that I dream of grindhouses and drive-ins and great movies versus adult problems.
I don't know what those are.
Oh yeah, me either. You want to see what came in the mail? I got a huge Bonanza stuff this time, Bill.
Yeah, Bonanza stuff.
Well, yeah, from the restaurant, and little Joe or whatever his name is. This is maybe the most exciting. This is from 88 Films. This is the new Project A box set of Project A 1 and 2, and these movies were so hard to get back in the day, and now, gosh, we have this beautiful UHD release from 88 Films in the US of Jackie Chan's films. Even the art is nuts. And it has multiple posters, lobby cards, a book on the movies, and both movies. So super excited about that. I may have showed a couple of these a few weeks ago, but that's okay. This was a gift, actually, at the drive-in. Mode Mixologist gifted me with Night Tide, one of my favorite movies, and a movie that has potentially the Whore of Babylon from the Bible in it, Marjorie Cameron, who is a major figure in art and the occult in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Pretty exciting. This is a wild one. My sister-in-law's family knows I like horror movies, and they found this for me at a swap meet and bought it. This is the look at that, the Allegro releasing. Yeah, and it has Zombie Hell House on it, Bill, which is, of course, House by the Cemetery.
I don't know how that happened.
And it has Night of the Living Dead, Last Man on Earth, White Zombie, and Revolt of the Zombies. That's a pretty good zombie set.
I think it's a nice selection of different movies.
For $1, and they're on 2 DVDs, so they're not too compressed. So that was really cool. Very nice to get gifts, right? Especially from, good folks. Okay, what else?
Sure.
We got, these are from our friends at Synapse Films. We have Killers, which I have not seen yet. It's the unrated director's cut that just came out, and The Convent, which has Adrienne Barbeau and Coolio. You're like, wait, could Coolio and Adrienne Barbeau are both in the same
Don't know
movie?
who it is. It's Coolio.
Yeah, we got American Gigolo from Arrow, which was a movie my mom would not allow me to watch as a kid. I don't know why. And this movie I'm really excited about, CIA Drugs Are Us. This is from MGB. And this is a sequel to actually the other ones on Tubi, and it's all about how the CIA investigated all of these people and also may have been behind drugs and music. I don't know if I showed this one last time, Bill, but I'm super excited about it. I'll show it again. The Fangs one release that just came out from Dark Forces. And look at this. It has the Holy Wednesday
poster. That is beautiful.
Yeah, how about that?
I don't know why I didn't get that.
Oh, it was on sale for $20. And I was like, wow. And the cover is embossed. Like even the snake is. So you can like feel it. How great is that? Like, what's funny is like, yeah, that's a sleazy cover, but it happens, right? And the back cover is gorgeous.
Janet Wood from Terror House is in that.
She is. Yeah, I forgot to bring out another movie too. Crap. I bought the last horror movie from Severin. I'll show that next week because the back cover is pretty cool. I bought these from Tim Gross, a Pittsburgh filmmaker. Look at this. In Search of Pittsburgh Bigfoot. Have you seen this, Bill?
No.
It's made by the guy that owned Brillo Box. Luther Ix shot it on an iPhone. And it is all about a 7-year labor of love filmed on an iPod, perfect for drunken yinzers, Bigfoot cults, Pittsburgh morons, and Sasquatch. Does he exist? Has he drank too much Iron City? Who knows? So pretty excited. I'm drinking a Turner's tea as I speak about this movie. And then this is one of another movie that his company is carrying, Beyond Dark Dreams, which looks pretty cool. Love the cover. And then I bought, Bill, my love of The Mummy and the Curse of the Jackals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the director of that movie also did an adult film, Ride a Wild Stud. And man, I can't tell you how excited I am to have this one from Dark Forces. This is
I bet you are.
It's the only 35 millimeter blow up from 16 millimeter to high def that's ever been done. And violent men who took what they wanted, your money, your women, your life. When men were men and women didn't forget it. Ooh, what's going to happen? Right, a wild stud.
I hate when they forget it.
Yeah, I forgot that I'm a man. I got Vital and Shadow of Fire. Those are both from Arrow that are coming out soon. And we have Dogra Magra and the Snow Woman. Those are from Radiance. That's actually a whole box set of the Japanese horror set that Radiance put out. That is just newly out. And if you saw the site, I just finished up Fantastic Fest today. Oh man, that was a lot of work, but it was good. And finally, the last thing, I showed this to Bill in between.
Ooh.
Yeah, this Something Weird vinyl is the coolest.
Jealous.
Yeah, it is all the Spook Show commercials and songs that were in the Spook Show stuff, and then the out of print Monsters Crash the Pajama Party 3D DVD is in here, and a zine that they put together just for this, and it is gorgeous. Right?
They ripped me off.
Yeah, there's also there's a bunch of these coming out. These Something Weird Modern Harmonic releases. There's a Doris Wishman one that has all the Doris Wishman radio commercials and trailer music and the music from her movies. It's only $20. I'm like, God damn it. I kind of need that too. So now I for a long time I was like, I'm not going to get into getting vinyl. But then I'm like, well, you're going to put out a Spook Show vinyl. I mean, just look at the ads on the back. This is what I was thinking of, like, how exciting
arts. I mean,
yeah.
like now you've started buying vinyl. You can't stop.
I can't stop. And Bill, you were saying about getting ready for Halloween. I went past. There's a old folks home called the Hilltop Manor here. It used to be the Hilltop Drive-In in Monongahela, and I found I'm sure you've seen it. And like I think '64, Chili Billy did a spook show there with a couple touring spook shows, and then showed a few movies too. So as I drive past it and I see it now as this boring, kind of hospital looking building, I think at one point that was a drive-in. At one point there was something amazing there, and like how cool it would have been knowing that Chili Billy was doing a live show. I couldn't even have been able to handle it. Do you know what I mean? To drive past and see that, like what a great world. But I'm searching for the things in our world right now that are awesome. So if I can find them,
they are out there.
They are. I mean, the fact that we can just go on to Tubi and watch a great movie like we watched tonight, or some of the other movies we have coming up, or a lot of movies are just streaming out there that we can find. There's some really cool stuff out there. So looking for, and the other big news I have is we're getting the floor put in the basement on the 17th, and that's it. We'll be moving back in, so you will see the show from the basement where we
can finally look in the basement.
Yeah, you can finally you can, instead of don't go in the basement, it will be please come into the basement, which is exciting. And it looks like a lot of
near the park.
Well, you would like to go near the park.
I would.
Yeah, for Aldo Ray. But yeah, I've watched a bunch of Aldo Ray movies lately, though, Bill. I have to tell you.
I bet he went to a park or two. In his lifetime. Think? Yeah,
you do, huh? I watched Aldo Ray in man, what movie was he in that I really dug him in? Crap. I'll have to think about it. The other movie that I really dug this week, it's on the site today, Bill, is Hell Spa. Uh, who knew that there was another spa movie? After, we have two kind of big ones, but Death Spa is shot on video. It's about a man named Mr. X, Mr. EX, who is Satan or an alien. It hasn't been determined in the movie, who buys out
Hell Spa.
Hell Spa.
You said Death Spa.
Death Spa, I mean, sorry, not Hell Spa.
No. You're talking about Hell Spa, not
I'm
Death
talking,
Spa.
yeah, I'm talking about Hell Spa, not Death Spa, which is a similar movie but different. This one, it's about a devilish businessman that buys out mom and pop businesses, and he presents them with deals that can't miss. So if you join this spa now, you don't have to pay any money and you can lose weight. But if you don't lose weight, he like cuts your fingers off and stuff. Yeah. And it's also got some satanic mumbo jumbo in it, which is the best kind. And it's kind of like if you mixed Halloween 3, They Live, and a fitness movie, and also a newspaper movie. It's not good, but it's great, if that makes sense. And the director went back and added new scenes in 2000 and put Tommy Kirk in it as a cop. I got to find that version. Pretty good. So Phil said to tell you, Bill, that The Siege at Pinch Gut is a great Aldo Ray movie. It was the last Ealing Studios movie. So if you're looking for some more Aldo Ray, you know what I saw him in, Bill? I watched the movie that, what's his name? What was the one that we watched when Jen was on with the had Aldo Ray in it?
Centerfold Girls.
No, it was the other one. The one with the mental powers and the aliens and that. The Fred Olen Ray one.
Oh, Biohazard.
Biohazard. That's it. Yeah.
Right.
I watched the movie that was shot at the same time as Biohazard, which is, man, I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure someone in the chat will tell me. But I watched it and it's pretty. And he's also in The Bad Bunch. He plays a racist cop in that, Bill. And he's really good in it.
A role that was made for him.
Yeah. It's like him walking around beating people up and leaving them laying in the streets. So I should maybe send a copy of it your way. I think you'll enjoy it.
He looks like a dirty sheriff.
He's like a dirty LA cop. Is there any other kind in that movie? So yeah, it was pretty good. My favorite movie I've watched lately, and it's not good, is Space Thing. Just because you got to love a movie that writes its credits on boobs. Like they know exactly what you're looking for. They're like, it's Space Thing.
Space Thing is like Doris Wishman attempted to make a science fiction film.
Oh my God. I have a recommendation of Doris Wishman near the end of her career. It's the movie she tried to sell when she was on Conan and O'Brien, Dildo Heaven. It's fucking great. It's like, it's not dirty. It's just like a movie about these girls that all live in an apartment building together. It's kind of like her primetime soap, like her Melrose Place, but she has not improved in over 50 years of making movies. She didn't get any better, and in the best way. Like she learned nothing, which is exactly what I want out of Doris Wishman's movies. Do you know what I mean? Like I love that she just did what she wanted to do. But without further ado, I really want to look at these ads, so I'm excited about this.
Well, I thought I'd dig up some more of these. Oh, I have to make it the solo.
Yeah, me hide behind my thing. Oh my God.
So yeah, this is some more Fort Lauderdale ads, all from 1979, that magic year where everything was good.
Wow. Okay, let's go through these one at a time, right? If you don't mind.
Please.
The Late Great Planet Earth, an absolute bullshit movie. In the Deep, 100%. That's my first pick, right? Love it. Animal House and the Choir Boys, an Aldrich movie, which is kind of like, I guess kind of high end.
Sure, with Animal House.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a weird mix. A total 70s double feature of Every Which Way But Loose and Corvette Summer.
Yeah.
Right?
That's like for the car crowd and
Yeah, the rednecky kind of
rednecks. Yeah.
yeah. I say that with affection, right? Um,
Well, we are from Pittsburgh,
yeah,
so we're
yeah,
not going to talk shit on
yeah,
rednecks.
exactly. And Damon, yeah, I was referring to that Wishman interview where she's with Roger Ebert because she keeps telling Roger Ebert, "You should review my movie, Dildo Heaven." Um, Heaven Can Wait and Thank God It's Fridays. I guess that's a date one, right?
Poor Thank God It's Friday. Like
Yeah,
that came out right at the beginning of the Disco Sucks
yeah.
movement. It was the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Scalpel is kind of over promising with a Hitchcock surprise ending, but we'll let it go. And the Manitou though, that's another pick. I'm thinking that's a pretty good pick, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would. That'd be a contender,
It's
but
but we haven't yet got to the
yeah,
the
the one I'm
I
gonna
see
go
where
to.
it's at. Yeah. But let's
You know where this is going.
yeah. Saturday Night what's First Love? I've never seen First Love.
I don't know, not to be confused with Endless Love.
No. Oh, where I love that the song, it was like people are like, that song's gonna be in my wedding. Like it's a movie about a kid that sets a house on fire. But okay. The Warriors and Looking for Mr. Goodbar, that's for discerning adults, right? That's grown up movie.
Yeah,
Yeah. But Screen Eight's where we're going, right? I mean, Beyond the Door 2 and Alice Sweet Alice. That's
absolutely.
I mean 100% that's where we're going.
Mario Bava's last theatrical
Oh,
film,
shock.
and Alice, Sweet Alice, a
Yeah.
high-level art film from Paterson, New Jersey.
Wouldn't it be great if the other screen said Shock and Communion? It's the other screen.
I would hope so.
Oh man. But I've never seen Who Will Stop the Rain, but to see Invasion of the Body Snatchers in the drive-in bumming people out, that would be pretty swank, right?
Yeah, I feel like I did.
Yeah.
I know I saw Body Snatchers in the
Oh,
theater,
oh my
but
god.
I think someone else took me to see it at the drive-in.
Body Snatchers in the end is a double bummer. Like that's like a sad night.
Oh, I
What a
know. It's
bummer.
like it's really hard to take.
Yeah. But Magic and Damnation Alley is like uh that's like alpha and omega there. Now, which way I agree with Damon, Every Which Way But Loose and Dolomite is a fine double feature. I love
Mhm.
that. That's good. They could have done Dolomite and Thank God It's Friday, or I don't know. Thank
I
God It's
wouldn't have
Friday
tried that.
and the Wiz would be good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But wow, this is and then also, many adult drive-in movies if you're at screen 3 and 4.
It's a mini outdoor
Yeah.
drive-in.
Yeah.
And hopefully it was tucked away in a corner of the drive-in that could not be seen by the rest of the drive-in,
Yeah.
if you know what I'm getting at.
I know what you're getting at. Oh, 99 cents. Oh, there's another one. Oh my God.
There's 5 of them.
Oh, Bill, you're too good to me. This is amazing. Now, you know what we should do? Let's play a game of I'll pick which one I think you would go to,
Okay.
and then you pick for me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
So,
oh boy, there's a couple here.
it's impossible, but I'm going to do
This
my
is
best. Are we going
okay.
to go through each one individually?
Yeah, let's go
And then at
through.
the end, after we've
Yeah,
gone
okay,
through
that's
all of
good.
them,
Yeah,
we'll say our picks.
okay, that's good. So you want to go through the first one, and I'll go through.
Centerfold spread and the specialist.
Ooh,
I'm not familiar with centerfold spread
no, me either.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
I was
I mean,
not
it's not
interested.
saying it's a girl in the centerfold, Bill.
That's what they're getting at. It's a
Oh,
girl
okay.
movie.
Oh, okay.
Killer Fish and Bog.
Mm-hmm.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
10 and Shampoo, which it sounds like a couple of product placement extravaganzas, but really 10 is super funny. I love 10. Shampoo, I'm not that crazy about, but it's not as good as 10.
I mean, Sam J. Jones is in 10. So
Yeah, he is. He's the beautiful man married to beautiful Bo Derek.
he sure is.
He's not in it very much. I think you only see him in beginning.
Yeah,
In the
he's
wedding scene.
barely in it. Yeah. What year is this, Bill? This is
79.
so okay, because
79.
yeah, it's not finding any centerfold spread as a movie that played anywhere in '79. I'm trying to
I'm
figure out
telling you,
what it
it's
is.
probably one of those schoolgirl.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. It's a German schoolgirls film.
A man, a woman, and a bank, and the Golden Girl.
Golden Girl, I have seen.
Susan Anton.
Yeah,
Isn't that Susan Anton?
it sure is. Yeah, it's not good.
And I think it was. I'm going to screw this up. I think it was made for TV and then released theatrically, or vice versa.
It's one of those ones that it's hard to figure out, like where what was it meant for.
The Onion filled and Taxi Driver for the art screen.
Yeah.
At the Airport 9. When a Stranger Calls and Game of Death.
Ooh, that's nice.
That's kind of like a weird pairing there, but not unwelcome.
Yeah.
Cocaine Cowboys, and what's the other movie I can't see? Brings Jackson County
Jail, which is another one that's like, is that a TV movie or not?
Meteor with the Evictors. That's tantalizing.
It is.
Skate Town, USA, and thank God that's a dream double there. Those two movies belong together.
Yeah, they do. I love Skate Town, USA. So we got Phantasm and They Came From Within. I mean, that's pretty good, right?
Absolutely stunning.
We got Centerfold Spread and The Specialist making a comeback. Alien and The Fury. That's pretty good. That's pretty good too. And Killer Fish and Bog again. And then King Frat. Oh my God. And Jokes My Folks Never Told Me.
Ken Wiederhorn's movie that he made after Shockwaves, I think.
It sure is. King Frat starts with a fart contest that goes on for like 40 minutes. And they kill the dean of the school by farting on him. And then they come to his funeral and fart in his casket. And it's like, I get that they're trying to be Animal House, but Animal House was never murderous. King Frat's a rough one, but I like it, but it's a rough one. We got Alien and Gordon's War, 2 adult movies. I mean, yeah. And then some repeats, except Cocaine Cowboys is playing with the Big Bird Cage. Yes. Big Bird Cage is a dream drive-in movie. So Bill, I'm going to pick for you.
Okay.
And it's between two though. I'm thinking Phantasm and They Came From Within, but I also am thinking Alien and The Fury.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be Killer Fish and Bog because I know you love Bog.
Well, that is what I was going to say. Killer Fish and Bog.
Yeah.
But that's what I would pick now.
Yeah. Okay.
When I was a kid, it would have been Alien and The Fury.
Yeah. But Killer Fish and Bog feels like what you'd want to go with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, only because I'm thinking of your previous contributions to Drive-In Asylum, I'm going to say Meteor with the Evictors.
Oh, yeah.
Is where you have to be.
Yeah.
A close second.
It's a hard one.
Yeah, I don't. Phantasm, maybe.
Yeah. The Evictors makes a lot of sense because it's a Charles Pierce movie. And Jessica Harper's in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, that's right up your alley.
Yeah, Jessica Harper's like, can I please not be in a movie that Sam is obsessed with, please? Like, can I just be in a normal movie, please?
She's like, let me out of this movie.
Yeah. American Girl, huh?
I knew you'd come.
Oh, wow.
No, wait, is this the same one?
It's the same one, yeah. Oh, no, there's some different ones. There's Meatballs.
Yes. Oh, and that's changing too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, now Killer Fish is with Crater Lake Monster, which is also stunning.
Oh, that's what I would pick for you. Yeah.
I'd rather see Bog than Crater Lake Monster. But if Bog and Crater Lake Monster were together, which I know they played that way, that would be even better. Meatballs
and Up in Smoke is definitely like, God, what a night. I love Up in Smoke. I mean, I'm a big Cheech and Chong fan, but I think that would be really fun to see.
I think
Killer. Mhm.
you got Damon interested in the Evictors.
Yeah,
Your work is done here.
it is. Bruce has risen in The Hot and the Vicious. What if Bruce has risen was a Bruce exploitation porn movie? That's what I want to see.
I don't know.
Yeah, it could happen.
Stranger things have happened, but I would like to think it's about a literal Bruce Lee cult,
Yeah. Oh, I
and
like
where
that.
Bruce is like this messianic
I
figure.
love it. That happens in some of these movies though, because there's like people that worship him and like dress like him, and like I've been watching a lot of Bruce exploitation movies with Bruce Lee and Bruce Lee and stuff, and they're interesting.
All right.
All right.
So,
I'm excited.
over here, here's some more good
Oh,
stuff.
oh my God.
These must have all been like a week apart.
It's
So
well, we got some good new holy shit. Okay, so rock and roll. I guess that's rock and roll high school.
yeah,
Instead of rock and
I
roll.
don't know.
No, maybe not. With The Kids Are All Right, the Who movie, cool. Smokey and the Bandit and Battlestar Galactica is great. I mean, come on, right? Fairy Tales. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait.
Closer.
Fairy Tales, Cinderella 2000, and The Girl from Starship Venus. 200%. That's where I'm going. I mean, that is magical right there.
That needs to stop. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just Fairy Tales and The Girl from Starship Venus was good. And you're like, just Fairy Tales is good. And you're like, yeah. Because that was like a Cinemax, like circle it in the guide, like, oh, Fairy Tales is going to be on again. And man, yeah. Wow. This is a good night.
Oh, wait. Now with Animal House is Just You and Me, Kid.
I've never seen that. What's that?
Oh my God. That's with George Burns and Brooke Shields.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's an HBO one, isn't it?
It is. I must have watched it like 20 times on HBO. I know that movie so well.
Yeah.
Christopher Knight is in it from the Brady Bunch.
Oh, wow.
There's some other people in it too that I'm forgetting at this. So Christopher Knight's in it. And it's really like one of those movies that did not make Brooke popular.
Like Sahara?
Yeah. It was a misstep.
David said one of his goals is to see Rock and Roll High School on any big screen. I saw it at the Carnegie Science Center on the 90-foot screen. And let me tell you, seeing Rock and Roll High School on a screen that big is insane. The scene where Joey comes to her room and sings the PJ Souls. Like, I literally started crying during it. I was so happy. My wife's like, why do you love this movie so much? And I was like, shh. I'm having a religious moment.
Don't say these things.
Yeah, I'm having a religious moment. Okay.
Lorraine Gary is in Just You and Me, Kid also.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What about Tony Gary? Is he in it?
No.
Oh, I wish.
No, he's not. There's somebody that plays an annoying neighbor in it too. Yeah. That's notable.
That feels like something that was on like every page of the HBO guide.
Yeah, it's this crazy plot. Like there's a drug dealer. Brooke Shields is involved with this drug dealer who has her peddling his shit in school, I guess. And she freaks out and she ditches his stuff in a sewer. Or I can't remember if she has the stuff or if she ditched it. But he comes to her apartment to attack her and she's in the bathtub and she flees out the window naked. Keep in mind, I think she's supposed to be like 16 and they show her like fleeing in nothing but a towel and she ends up losing the towel and she's naked and she ends up in the parking lot of this grocery store where George Burns is grocery shopping and she gets in his trunk and she hides in there and he ends up taking her back to his house and harboring her. And it's just, she hides from this drug dealer. It's the most ridiculous plot you've ever heard.
Well, what's crazy, Ray Bolger's in it too. And
yeah,
Burl
Ives is in it. Well, there's lots of older guys in it because they're all George Burns's card buddies.
Can Burl Ives get it?
Burl Ives could get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a moment. Yeah, there's a moment where George Burns and Burl Ives embrace tenderly. And I was
Leonard
living
B.
for it.
Stern, who directed it, is the creator of Mad Libs. How weird is that?
It's a really bizarre movie
Wow. He probably used Mad Libs to write it.
from the sound of it, right?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, Brooke Shields was a big deal.
Yeah, they really tried to like blow her up bigger than she was, I guess. And she made some bad movies like Tilt.
Oh, Tilt's not good. Wow.
Let's see here. What's new?
Let's see.
Oh, well, there's one that just stands out like a sore thumb. Raw Meat, Carnivorous, and the Hex Massacre, which is Who Could Kill a Child.
Oh, wow. What's Carnivorous? Is that
Carnivorous is Jungle Holocaust.
Ah, that's right. Okay. Wow. Wow. Moonraker and Semi Tough is. I did see Moonraker at the drive-in. I'm not going to front. I love Moonraker.
I saw it, but I can't remember if it was at the drive-in or not.
I saw Time After Time on. That's an HBO one for me too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, man, that makes sense because Erica from Unsung Horrors, her Instagram name is Hex Massacre, and if you know, she wrote that book about kids getting killed, so that totally makes sense. Okay,
now you know.
Now I know, man. Okay, great.
What about Semi Tough? Isn't that Burt Reynolds?
It's Burt Reynolds, yeah, football movie. That's that's a HBO adult movie that I was like, I'm not too interested.
It was about football, so I couldn't be bothered with it.
Let me know when Flash Gordon's on, I would say. Man. The raw meat one though, that's where it's at. Like we all know that, right? The Mac and Youngblood's pretty cool too. I mean, yeah. Man, those ads are great, Bill. That's where it's at.
Right on, brother.
Right on. Man, that's what I remember. One time I was super high on the show, and I love movies and I love films. And you're like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm fine.
That's me tonight.
Yeah, but that's how I do feel, and I'm so excited to be back. Thanks to everybody that came back with us. Yeah, Time After Time is the time travel flick with Christopher Reeve, where H.G. Wells fights Jack the Ripper. I loved that movie as a kid. I was I think Christopher Reeve fan, probably because he was in Superman, but I was like, oh, well, I'll watch any of his stuff. But
I thought you were heading towards Somewhere in Time because we were talking about that. You said Time After Time.
Oh, is it Somewhere in Time, or what's
Somewhere in Time?
Somewhere in Time.
Somewhere in Time is with Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, that's Christopher Reeve. Somewhere in Time is the one with
Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour. Oh well, yeah, right.
Could she get it?
Oh my God, yeah. Especially Bond era Jane Seymour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. Even now, Dr. Quinn. I actually met Jane Seymour because one of the charities that I used to do advertising for, they had this gala every year, and we always had to go to it. It was Steven Spielberg's charity, Starlight, and she has a son with what's his name, James Keach, Stacy Keach's brother. So Stacy Keach, James Keach, Jane Seymour are all there. Of course, I'm freaking the fuck out, right? And Shatner are all there. It's like, man, it's like Sam Knight. Like, God, who else could be here? James Coburn, it's like perfect. And it was
from Looker.
Yeah, and what's crazy is it was in the hotel where Trader Vic's is in Los Angeles, like one of the Trader Vic's, and Trader Vic's was closed for renovation, so breaking my heart. And they introduced me to them. They're like, "Oh, our son's band's playing tonight." His band was not good, but that's why they showed up for this gala, just so that their son's band could play. So, but pretty cool. That's me as close to hobnobbing or name dropping as I'll ever get. Like, oh yeah, I went and hung out with Jane Seymour and watched her son's band.
Far out.
Yeah, nothing else happened. Nothing fancy or anything. But yeah.
Nothing dirty happened.
Nothing dirty. No. I don't think that's gonna happen for me. All my crushes, I said to Becca the other day, all my crushes are in their 80s now, or their 70s. You know what I mean? They're all old Italian actors or Spanish actresses. It's that's life. the Carolyn Monroe still, you know, I couldn't even talk to her. That's one of my favorite conversations. If you want to see somebody be a doofus, watch me talk to Carolyn Monroe. Not good.
Was it like when you talked to Joe Bob
It
Briggs?
was even worse than when I talked to Joe Bob Briggs, because Becca talked for me, and she said, you know, Sam wants you to know that the first Italian movie he saw was Star Crash, and you're in it, and that's why he loves Italian movies. And she said, oh, she said, what kind of Italian movies do you like? And I said, I like all of them. And she said, do you like giallo? And I said, uh-huh. And Beck said he likes him a lot. He likes his jolly a lot. I was like either like a stroke victim, or like she probably thought I was. And also it was when my hockey teeth were gone, so I had a big tooth missing. So I'm like, I like Jala a lot. Yeah, she's like, God, this redneck from Pittsburgh was so creepy. His poor wife had to talk for him. Meanwhile, Patrick Wayne was next to her trying to sell stuff, and I felt bad. I'm like, oh, you are the Duke's son, and you are in a couple of movies I like, but not.
I'm sure you're not the only person that ever got that way around Caroline
Oh my
Monroe.
God. The guy before me he brought like 200 posters, and he had an I Don't Want to Be Born poster. And she said, am I even in this movie? And I said, yes, you're in this movie.
Is she?
Yeah. She said a nun in it for like a couple seconds. Yeah. By the way, Phil would like us to know that Jen Upton is going to be on his show October 18th for Venom. He asked me, do you want to do Venom? And I said, Jen Upton has to do Venom because that's her movie. Like snakes, you know, it's her. So pretty exciting. And check out Phil's podcast. It's a lot of fun. Phil's got some really great episodes, and he's on every week, which is really cool. If you want to hear a dumb podcast, listen to my new one. It's all about the movies of Glenn Danzig. Man,
your podcast is not dumb.
Oh, it's the dumbest. Someone actually reviewed it this week and gave me constructive criticism, which I appreciate. And then I used a whole bunch of screams from Alacarda on the new episode.
You screamed on purpose. Yeah.
I screamed. God, I literally put a sound collage together of a minute of screams from Alacarda, Bill, and it made me so happy. We should just show that again. Like, God, let's watch Alacarda.
Oh, there are so many screams.
Oh,
I mean, I could see one or two, but it's like 10, 15.
Literally,
20.
the Mexican trailer for it has like they introduce each actor and then they scream for 30 seconds and they like say their name and it's just screaming. And there's the one part where they're trying to pray with her and she just keeps rolling around on the floor screaming,
pulling her hair.
Oh my God, the end of that movie is ridiculous. Like, what nun outfits do they have? They look like mummies. God damn it,
the whole thing, they live in a cave and they're dressed like mummies. It doesn't really jive.
In the chat, if you haven't seen Alacarda, it's not a Dracula movie, even though you're like, well, with that name, it feels like a Dracula movie. No, it's a nunsploitation movie from Mexico, and it's legit. It's like it's only movies made by fallen Catholics can get this sacrilegious. It's like we're gonna have
fallen Catholic.
Two girls are gonna have
sounds like fallen angel.
Yeah, two girls are gonna have sex with a goat demon. Two girls are going to have sex with each other. Two girls are going to kill all the other nuns. There's going to be fire. There's going to be a lot of blood, and the screaming will never stop for the entire movie. It just is screaming. You can't know outside of like School of the Holy Beast, or maybe, yeah, probably that's it. There aren't a lot of nunsploitation movies that live up to this, though. D'Amato tried, like his nunsploitation movies. I take that back because his one nunsploitation movie has nuns eating a baby and boiling a baby, and then they throw it out a window. So that's pretty rad. You know, but
just like Andy Warhol's Bad.
Oh my God. I love that movie. We were talking in between. I don't know if you guys watch Tubi. You get like the second feature there, and mine was Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, which I think is a great movie to put with Fear No Evil. But yeah. Man, I just want to make a super cut of Susan Tyrrell being mean to people, and it's just I'm gonna wear like those Google glasses that didn't take off and just walk around and just think about Susan Tyrrell being crazy, like that scene in Angel where the teacher yells at her and she gets all like freaked out about it.
Yeah, well, no, she likes the teacher after she does that. She's like, okay,
yeah. Oh,
now I'll talk to you because you could kick my ass.
Dude, somebody is selling, you know, people sell movies all the time on Facebook Marketplace now. Someone had the Angel box set for like $160, the Vinegar Syndrome one. I know it's getting re-released, right? I know I'm going to be able to get it cheaper, but I maybe had drank a lot, and I was like, "Ah, the Angel box set in my house. Like, if I could have the Angel box set and just look at it all the time." And I was like, God, Becca's going to kill you if you buy it. Like, not yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to figure out how to do it. It's the same way at the drive-in, because I had all that absinthe that AC Nicholas brought. And then the Severn booth got set up, and he said, "Hey, I'll let you have that Black Emmanuel box set for $150." I said, "Fuck, damn it."
How much is it? Does it retail for?
It's like 175 or 200. He's like, we
Oh.
can go down to 150 on it. And I looked, and thank God my wife was standing there. Like, I saw her standing over there talking with you, like far away. And I saw her, and the sun was hitting her just right. And I'm like, if I come home with this Black Emmanuel box set, she's gonna fucking murder me. And because when Emmanuel and the Cannibals came in, she said
she would say she was mad, and then she wouldn't be mad anymore.
she's like,
And
this
you'd have the Black Emmanuel box set.
I have Emmanuel and the Cannibals, and Emmanuel in New York, which are probably the only two you need. And I remember her saying, like, who sent this porn to us? And I'm like, Mondo Macabre sent it to us. They're bastards.
Oh.
Like, I'll tell them never to send it again. I wrote them a letter.
Oh,
God,
what monster could have sent
I
this?
said, guys, the next time you send these, send them in like some kind of wrapper so that I'm prepared. Like, let me know they're coming. But yeah, what monster could have sent this Black Emmanuel to the house?
Weren't we supposed to say some more stuff about Friday the 13th before we sign off?
We're supposed to talk more about it. What questions you had about Friday the 13th?
Well, okay, I said about Mrs. Voorhees,
Yeah.
and that whole thing. Well, I also don't understand why when she does drive up to the cabin and Alice runs out to her, she embraces her.
Yeah.
So why doesn't she kill her right there? Like she killed everybody else with a quickness.
She's
like
playing with her food.
Really?
I think so. Or does she sense that Alice is the only good one of these kids?
But she was going to kill her anyway. She just like,
or is she conflicted about it?
I guess. But yeah, I think you're right. I think she felt comfortable because she knew Alice was the last one. So
Alice isn't a threat to her either. I think she saw the other kids as being the same kind of kids that could have killed her son. And that's why she had to like wipe them out, versus Alice is just collateral damage. And do you know what I mean? Like, she knows that she's the killer, so she has to kill her.
Well, plus she's suffering a psychotic break. So her behavior is erratic.
At this point, her sweater's erratic. She's that sweater.
I love her sweater.
It looks really comfortable, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It looks just like Claudio from Twitch of the Death Nerve. Not Claudio. the guy that lives in the shack.
Yeah, it does. It's like a cable knit kind of thing. That's
the one
what
who's
I want.
The illegitimate son of the Countess in Twitch of the Death Nerve.
Simon. Like Freight Rags makes all these like shirts and stuff. I want them to go super deep cut stuff. Like, I want the sweater from Black Christmas, and I want like
I've seen that.
I want like the BG shirt from Phenomena.
Yeah,
and I want like I mean, who doesn't want the Yeti Giant of the 20th Century shirt? These are the things that we want. We don't, these things that like 3 people will buy them. You know what I mean? That's what I want. That's why I just need to start making shirts,
Damon said she wanted to tell somebody about why she was doing what she was doing.
Oh, she had to confess.
That's why no matter what happened, she had to keep talking about this place. She's like, oh, it's just this place. Did you know that a young boy drowned? Like, she wanted to hear that story. Right?
How excited do you think she was that new people were in town? Because I think everybody else in town was like, we've heard it. We've heard it. Steve's opening it back up. We get it.
Somebody else to tell it to.
And they're like all these. It's like whenever your parents like meet new people, like you get to hear a lot of the same stories about dumb stuff you did as a kid, and you're like, oh God, please don't tell them that story. Like Jason's the same way. Jason's like, don't tell him about that time I pooped my crib and then I got drowned.
Well, I remember hearing somebody say that Betsy Palmer wanted to be in the diner scene.
Oh, wow.
At the beginning of the movie. And she suggested that, well, shouldn't I be in the background somewhere in the movie?
I think that's a good idea.
But they said no.
Oh.
We don't want anyone to see you until it's time to reveal you.
Yeah. I like this. John's got a great idea that he had the impression that she was going to let Alice live to be a witness, so people would never open the camp again. But she lost it and confessed, so she had to kill her too.
Oh, that's a good theory. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's one of the things I don't like about the remake is they get rid of her really quickly, her character in the remake,
Yeah. It's
because I
not
just got
about her.
the Arrow Blu-ray. Yeah, and they combine like 4 movies into one. They really rush through it. But the more I think about it, I really like the first Friday a lot. It's got it's kind of, is classy the wrong word? Maybe after what has come. I'm sure it
It's
didn't
not,
seem
yeah. It was not considered classy when it was brand new, but
Yeah.
in retrospect, it
It's-
does have more going for it. Yeah.
It does. It's more of like a detective-y kind of, mystery of who it is. And it's the mystery is not based on the supernatural. It's based on it could happen. Now, could Mrs. Voorhees throw a girl through the window? No, like we've already talked about that. I don't
Yeah.
think that could happen.
Well, if she was crazy, I don't know. She just kind of like pushes her.
Yeah, maybe. I like that it sets up something that every slasher needs, where I love the end of it where, and this is a Michael Myers thing, I think, is where the bodies start showing up and like they drop out of the ceiling and like
Yeah.
everybody that's dead. Happy Birthday to Me does it probably the best, I think, where everybody's around the table at the end. And I like Happy Birthday to Me a lot. I've been thinking about that. Maybe that'd be a good one to show too.
Somehow Mrs. Voorhees lifted Steve's body onto the roof of the cabin and it like rolls off and it's hanging there.
Yeah.
So that was kind of strange. Why did she do that?
I think she has superhuman strength from her grief. I think, do you know what I mean? Like,
Jason.
Yeah. I mean,
gave her the
Jason's
strength.
super strong too. So, like, did he get it from her? Perhaps.
Ah, excellent point.
Yeah. I like thinking about Mrs. Voorhees a lot. I wish she had lived, because like she should have. That's why I was hoping, like, I knew whatever the TV series they were going to do is not going to be good, but like to spend more time with her would be good. But
maybe I'll finally make my Mrs. Voorhees series called This Place.
This Place.
It's a happy-go-lucky facts of life type sitcom set at Camp Crystal Lake. Mrs. Voorhees is the Mrs. Garrett character.
Oh, nice.
But they're never quite. The first episode is basically the movie Friday the 13th as we know it, minus the murders, because they're not really happening. At the end, all of the people that we thought she killed come back to the cabin, and they're like, we were stuck out there and we couldn't get back to the cabin.
I like
She's
Philip's
like, just this place.
Philip's explanation is you can't see her jacked body under that sweater. That's
Right.
why the sweater's to be. She's like
She's really built.
just built like a power lift. She's like China under that. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, well, that makes sense. I like it. I think Friday the 13th is a very obvious movie to watch over Halloween, but so what? So is Halloween, but we're gonna watch it. We're about a week
I
away.
already watched it.
We're about a week away from watching every Halloween 10 times. So Becca's not ready yet. And I don't know if anybody watched it yet. The new what do you call it? Salem's Lot is on Max. And I don't want to see it, but I feel like I gotta see it, Bill.
I feel the same way. Like I probably will watch it. I do not have high hopes.
No. What is the right way to go? There is no right or wrong way to go into it, but I want to love it. Like I want to really like it, but also it's like a near perfect movie it's going up against. Do you know what I mean? Like I can't.
Well, yeah, you can't get a better movie than Salem's Lot. So with that story,
yeah,
I think that's.
I can hear my wife now wistfully talking about David Soul throughout the entire movie and what a beautiful man David Soul is. When I would never be, I can't imagine if I was like, hey, Becca, Laura Gemser's really hot, and I'm like, get out of the house. But such as being in a relationship. Damon has heard very bad things about Salem's Lot, so we shall see. Just a reminder for you guys, next week we won't be on. We'll be back the week after with Crypt of Dark Secrets. Get ready if you haven't seen this movie.
Wow.
Don't watch it with your parents or children in the room. It is like,
please, yeah.
There is it's just nudity. There's whole just long stretches of nudity, but it's also wild. Like it really is a fever, as Bill would say, a fever dream, just of just what the fuck is going on. Numerous times in this movie, you will say, what is happening? There is a girl, the girl who's in it literally brings a dead man back to life with sex. This happens. There's also nude dancing on tombstones and just nude dancing in general.
Yeah, there's a lot of nude.
Yeah.
Crypt of Dark
You'll be
Secrets.
like, could she be any more naked? No, she could not. But it's good. It's like, it has some really cool locations and it's just different.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about it. It's like nothing else. And so I'm really excited. And the print that's on Tubi is great for it. So,
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yeah. So I think it's probably the one that's on the Severance at the same one. So, yeah, a good watch coming up for that. And we got good stuff planned for the rest of October. Hope you do too. Thanks for coming back. We missed you guys. And if you got to hang out at the drive-in, awesome. If not, make plans for April to join us at the drive-in because it's the 80s weekend and there's going to be some good stuff. I'm sure. We don't know yet. Bill might know. I don't know. But there'll be some good stuff coming.
I only have a few hints, nothing concrete. So who knows? It could be anything.
Yeah.
Special thanks to our sponsors for this episode. It was Tim Hemphill, Dave Burian, and Lee contributed. So thanks very much. If you would like to donate a couple bucks to us, it's send it via PayPal, groovydoom@gmail.com. And we'll put your name on the show. And thank you profusely for how, and go pick up the new Haunt. We'll see you on the 19th.
Yep. See you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.